Okay, so I'm going to be doing this review standing up because, well, I feel like it. You know, just gonna try something a little different today. And of course, another thing which is different, I'm going to be reviewing the first two episodes of American Horror Story, which is a TV show for those of you who don't know. So I'm not sure how long this is going to be. Like, I normally just, my reviews are normally like 40, half an hour to an hour long. I'm not quite sure how long this is going to be since I'm only reviewing a TV show. Like, it's just the first two episodes anyway. So I'm going to be reviewing the first two episodes of American Horror Story, as the title says. And yeah, so this is released. This is, I think the first episode showed sometime in October. Not exactly sure when, but sometime in October, I think. Like halfway through October in the US. But for the UK, it's only just now like being shown. So like the first episode was shown on the 6th or 8th, I think, of November on the Sci-Fi FX channel, not a Sci-Fi channel. And the second episode, I think it was, I'm not quite sure when that was on, but I watched it last night. Like, I've seriously linked it. I don't even know what days they're on. I think it's like Wednesday or Saturday or something. Like, I don't even know what day they're on. Like, I've just seriously linked it, so I just watch it whenever it appears in the like the Skybox. So there you go. Okay, so in America, I think this show's kind of popular, or it's been getting a lot of buzz. In the UK, not like, I don't think much people know about it in the UK. Like, no one that I know in my school have talked about it. Like, no one or at least I haven't heard anyone mention it in school. But in America, it seems as if it's getting, like, pretty popular. Like, you get a lot of people talking about it. It seems like a big thing in America. And so I'm going to give my thoughts, of what I thought it was going to be. Like, to be honest with you, okay, so I'm going to ramble on, a little story of how I came to watch the show. So I watched The Walking Dead, even though I don't like it. Like, the first series was okay. I didn't mind it. It was alright. The second series so far has been pretty, I don't know, bad. It's certainly not good. Like, personally, I'm not a fan of The Walking Dead, not at all. Like, the second series has just been like, it's okay. Maybe a bit bad. Certainly not good, I can say that. Like, the episodes have been dragged out longer than they should have. The cliffhanger, oh my god, Jesus, don't get me started on that, seriously. I just, Walking Dead, not a fan of it, kind of boring, don't like the characters, don't find them interesting. I'm just not a fan of The Walking Dead anyway. I'm getting sidetracked here. And the only time I will ever watch the FX channel, like, I don't even know what they show on there. I have no idea what shows they have on there. But I know The Walking Dead is one, and the only time I ever watch the FX channel is to watch The Walking Dead. Like, even though I hate The Walking Dead, I'm just watching it for the sake of it, But like, for the adverts, like between The Walking Dead, the adverts, they showed the trailer for American Horror Story a few times on there, and I thought they looked pretty bad, to be honest. Like, it looked really generic and just a bit boring. It just looked really generic. Like, the horror genre is definitely the genre that I prefer, but it just didn't, it just didn't look like it appealed to me. Like, it didn't look like anything special or anything that really stood out to me. Like, I guess you don't have much TV series revolving around an idea like that. Like, I don't think like there's ever been a TV series, like a continuous, like series like revolving around an idea like that. So I guess it's kind of original in that respect, but like, it just looked really generic from what I saw from the trailers. And like, because when I watched The Walking Dead, like, I normally watch with my family. So, they were like, oh, should we record that? I was like, whatever, no, I'm really bothered. When I did get around, so, when I first watched it, like, the first episode opens up. So it begins with like two 12-year-old boys. I think, I'm not quite sure, they were pretty young. I think they're like 12 years old or something. But the two kids, they walk into the house, they start smashing up the windows and stuff with the baseball bats. And then they go into the basement. And of course, there's something in the basement, obviously. And so the kid, the one like obviously something was going to happen. Like there was going to be a zombie, like, you know, a creature or a spirit or a ghost or something down there that they would see, you know, that they were going to encounter. That was obvious. But what happens, like, yeah, that was step one, and that, you know, obvious. One thing that, like, I was expecting them to just get you know, like vanish off screen or something, and they would just say something like, you know, they would be mentioned later on as like missing, you know, in a missing persons case thing. But they ended up getting killed, and that really like surprised me. Like the first kid, he steps out of the shadows with his neck like cut open. Like you don't actually see his neck getting cut open, but he just walks out the shadows, and then he drops to the floor dead. Then the second guy, I can't remember, to be honest. I think you see him die. Like I think you actually see his throat get cut open. I think. I can't, you know, I watched it like a week ago, so I'm not 100% sure on that. But I was pretty surprised by how brutal it was. Like, well, it wasn't brutal, like, you know, the cutting of the necks, you know, it wasn't nothing. But like I'm saying, I was surprised they killed off like 2 kids in the show. Like, I just didn't expect them to die. I wasn't expecting the show to have that much balls and kill them off like that. So I was kind of, you know, I was like, well done to the show, because I really, like, you know, this also now, like, it adds an element of unpredictability. So now you can feel danger for all the characters, because like, to give you an example, like in The Dark Knight, like, you know, awesome movie, but the climax was really predictable. Like there's no way in hell there wasn't once, you know, it wasn't a fraction of a second where I ever thought that Gordon's son was going to get killed by Harvey. Not, you know what Harvey like has Gordon's son at gunpoint, is like 8-year-old son or whatever. It wasn't at one point in the whole entire scene, not for a fraction of a second, did I think he was going to die. Like what Harvey and Batman and Gordon and everyone is saying is pretty, you know, is really good. You know, the dialogue's good, but I'm saying the fact they're trying to play off that, they're trying to build the suspense and say they're going to kill Gordon's son. I was just like rolling my eyes throughout the whole entire scene. Like, we know Christopher Nolan doesn't have that much balls to just kill off the kid like that. And the movie would have benefited from it if they did kill off the kid there, and, you know, that would have shown how... I'm getting sidetracked here, but I'm saying that I hate it in films when, you know, you just know they're not going to kill off the kid, so there's no suspense throughout the whole entire scene. Like in that scene in The Dark Knight, awful scene. Well, what they were saying is good, but the idea that they were trying to trick you into thinking that Harvey was going to kill the kid, I was just rolling my eyes throughout the whole entire time. Though, like that, you know, that really pisses me off. Like I was again pretty irritated by that scene, but the fact that they killed off the 2 kids in the first episode, in the first scene, it, you know, it's, you know, now you can feel as if any of the characters may die. Like no matter how young you are, you know, or how sympathetic you are, you might, you know, like the kids weren't sympathetic because they was like smashing up the house, but I'm saying now you can feel danger for everyone, because like they kind of killed off 2 kids at the start, so you're kind of like, you know, they will kill anyone now. You know, if you know what I'm saying, like you can feel danger for everyone. Like I was surprised to kill off the kids, so, you know, that's one good thing to the show, like in the first scene. And then all of a sudden the opening titles started. I'm gonna even discuss the opening titles alone for like 5 minutes here. So the opening titles is like footage of the house. Like the house is like the subject of the movie, the top, you know. Like the camera just pans across the house, like through the basement mainly, I think. And they just flash by some like creepy imagery. Like, you know, you get like the jars with like teeth. Well, I'm not sure if they were teeth, like, you know, what body parts in the jars and stuff. And it's like just the camera pans across the dark areas of the house. You know, the cobwebs, the shelves, dusty shelves, surgical tools. You know, like you get a few subliminal flash frames of the spirits of the house. Like at one point the guy has some like shears, like garden shears, and then snaps them shut. I remember that one image in particular. And the music, you know, the footage itself, what they show you is great. Like it's pretty creepy. Like it sets the tone really well. Even the music is great as well. Like the music playing over the titles is fantastic. Like it's really weird. Like I can't really describe it. It's really weird. You really gotta listen to it to like know what it like kind of kind of like get the, you know, the feel of it. Like, I can't really describe it, but the music is so weird, but it fits so well. Like it really like sets the atmosphere, let's say, because this show, I can see this show being really creepy to a lot of people. Like, it does one thing that a lot of horror shows fail at doing, which is actually scaring the audience. Like, personally, it didn't really scare me, but the spirits, the costume designs on the spirits, it's great, you know, like the makeup effects and everything. The spirits look great, you know, they look threatening. And like, while, you know, personally they didn't scare me, or like I didn't, you know, it didn't scare me or anything, but I can certainly see some people being frightened by the show. Like, I can definitely understand why some people would find the show scary. Like, you know, the makeup effects and the costume designs on the spirits, they are good, you know, they are great. So the film gets credits for that. And back to the opening title sequences. I'm trying to, you know, I'm kind of jumping and back and forth between all the topics here, but so for the opening title sequence, like, the music's great. Like, it's so weird, can't really describe it. And even like, you know, when it says stuff like starring actor's name here, you know, it's like starring actor's name. That, you know, just like the cast come up, you know, the names, like directed by whoever, you know, doing the opening titles. So while they're showing like the footage of the house, we keep cutting to the title cards, like directed by, written by, starring, etc, etc. Like, I'm even going as far as to talk about the font here. The title cards are as simple as white text on a black background, and the footage is like intentionally distorted. Like, it's really like, the quality is really shitty, but on purpose, you can tell. Like, it's like it's all grainy and like low quality and stuff. It looks great. Like the text, like I said, the title cards with the white text and the black background alone, even that looks great. Like, it's really styled like Grindhouse, like a Grindhouse kind of film. And like, every time we cut to the title card with the text, like, the music suddenly jumps and changes, and like, it's really distorted and like just messed up. And it's great, you know. It just suits the atmosphere so well. So the opening titles were great, and that kind of like made me, because you know, like I said, I was assuming it was going to be a really bad show. Like, it looked so bad from the trailers, in my opinion. But, you know, we begin with a kick-ass opening scene, killing off 2 kids, and then we get a kick-ass like opening title sequence, which was great. You know, that is a great title sequence. Probably one of the best title sequences for a TV show I've ever seen, seriously. It really sets the atmosphere really well. And they get a lot of really good creepy imagery in there, with some awesome music to go along with it. So, for those, now on with the plot. For those of you who don't know the plot of this TV series, you know, show. Basically, it's standard stuff, pretty much. Or at least the premise is kind of standard. So basically, a family of 3, we get I don't know their names. I know the daughter's called Violet, but you know, so it's a family of 3: the daughter, the father, the mother. Ben, I think, is the husband. I think his name is Ben. He's a psychiatrist, and he treats his patients in the house. Like, they moved from Boston. They have like a dark past. Like, they didn't kill anyone or anything, but I'm just saying they had some, like, they're running away from some problems. Let's say, like, the father had an affair with one of his patients, and stuff, you know. So it's hinted that I think there's a little bit more about the family that we don't know yet. Like, I think they're saving that to reveal later on in the series, but they basically move from Boston to somewhere else. I don't know where they've moved to, but it's basically, you know, the house is haunted. It's like a bunch of murders have taken place in the house beforehand, and they're just staying there now, you know. And of course, the spirit's haunting the house, so it kind of goes off from there. Because the thing about this show, I was really worried that it was going to be basically, you know, the Amityville Horror. Because like, in the first episode at least, not so much in the second episode, but in the first episode definitely, it's strongly hinted that the father is kind of, he's gone a bit crazy, you know. He meets this guy, a guy who used to live in the house. He said that he killed his wife and kids, and you know, the guy, he survived though. Like, he burned the house down, he survived, and he's claiming like the house, the spirits or whatever of the house possessed him and made him kill his family. So it's kind of like that. So I was kind of really worried that the whole entire 13 episodes would basically be a dragged out version of the Amityville Horror, because the Amityville Horror is basically, you know, a father, they move into a new house, it's haunted, you know. The guy, he's you know, he slowly goes insane. He's under the influence of the house, or possessed by the spirits of the house, and he slowly goes insane over the course of the movie, and then tries to kill his family at the end. Like, you could even like compare it to The Shining. That's basically what The Shining is. You know, the guy's slowly going insane, and then he tries to kill his family at the end. Like, so I was kind of worried, you know, a bit worried that this show would just be that, The Shining and the Amityville Horror just dragged out for 13 episodes in a TV show. But I was wrong. Well, at least from the first 2 episodes, I was wrong. Judging from the first 2 episodes. So the first episode is just like establishing everything, like the family's relation, you know, how everyone feels about each other, the next door neighbour, you know, establishing the characters and stuff. You know, a little bit of the backstory of the house, a tiny bit. Like, this house has a lot of murders. Like, judging from the second episode, apparently it looks like a lot of people have died in this house. Like, it's not just one incident where one guy killed his family. There's been tons of murders in this house, like, throughout its history. At least that's the vibe I'm getting. So, like, because I was just thinking, like, this is a 13 episode series, and they've even issued, like, series 2. They will be making a series 2, which I will be looking forward to, because I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but set the record straight right now, I loved it. I think it's awesome, the show. But I'm just left wondering, even now I'm thinking, what exactly can they do for 13 episodes but hold our attention? Because essentially it's a haunted house. I'm not quite sure where they're going with this. It's like, they can't really change, like, what can they do different in every episode which will hold our attention, you know? I'm trying, you know, even right now I'm just left wondering, how are they gonna do something different in every episode? You know, it's because in the first one it's just establishing everything. The second episode, it was a bunch of people broke into their house, like, they knew about the past murders of the house. You know, they're just psychotic, these guys. They're like, they're obsessed with the murders, so they break in and they're like trying to recreate the murders with the family that are currently living there. So, you know, they want to drown, like, the girl in the bathtub to recreate the murders that happened before. So, you know, the second episode did good, because, like, the ghosts, they did play a part in the episode, but the main focus was of, you know, the group of people that broke into the house, and now they're like trying to recreate the murders that happened by killing the family that are living there now. So the second episode, it just, you know, it was interesting. Like, they did something different. Like, it wasn't just like the family living there and then, you know, just living there, seeing the ghosts every now and again. You know, it wasn't just that, it was different. So I am interested in seeing how they're going to do it for the rest of the series. Like, I hope they're able to pull this off and make every single episode, like, different and some new stuff happening. And, like, this is more, at least the first episode is more drama based than horror based. Like, this, even the second episode, because they mostly focused on the you know, psychos breaking into the house and trying to recreate the murders. But even then, it still had a lot of drama in it. Like, it's you know, you have stuff like, you know, I'm pregnant, or I've been having an affair, stuff like that, you know, cliche drama things. But I don't mind it. Like, the drama is interesting. Like, I find the characters interesting and likable. You know, the characters are fine. I'm interested in what's going to happen to them. So the drama, you know, I do like the drama part of the thing. Like, I hate soap operas, and, you know, I really hate those sorts of shows. But, you know, I like it in this show. The drama is interesting to me, I'd say, you know. And of course, then you have the horror stuff mixed in with it as well, of course. Because, like, the wife is pregnant, you find out at the end of the first episode. But you don't know whose baby it is. And I'm not saying this as in, oh, did she have an affair? No, she didn't have an affair. It's one of the spirits in the house. Like, the way it's styled is like a grindhouse film, like I said earlier about the opening credits. The way it's styled is, and shot and edited and directed and everything, it's really weird, but in a good way. I do like the way they're doing it, but the way they edited this one sequence, it made it look like one of the spirits, you know, was having sex with the wife. Like, the way it was edited made me assume that. So that might be the spirit's baby. not Ben's baby, which is the father, or at least I think his name is Ben. So, you know, it's stuff, you know, so they have the horror elements mixed in, which is interesting, you know. And the acting is flawless, you know, top notch. I can't really criticise the acting. Like, personally, I'm a guy who doesn't care about the acting, you know. I actually have low standards for acting. Like, a really bad actor, like someone might seem to be like a really bad actor to most people, but then like to me, I'll be like, what's wrong with them? The acting's fine. But, you know, so bearing that in mind, I'm saying the acting in this show is fine. Everyone does a great job. Like, the next door neighbour is a really weird character. Like, the show itself is really weird because of how it's styled and directed and everything. The next door neighbour, she's like, she's a fun character. The actor who plays her is great, and she has like a mentally handicapped daughter as well. Even the daughter, whoever plays the daughter, it does a great job. Even she's a great actor, and she's like quite a young, I think she's quite young as well. I think the actress who plays the daughter, even she does a great job. The actress who plays her, you know. She's a fun character because she's so like weird. The way she says stuff is just, it's, you know, and she's a bit of an asshole as well because like she steals like their earrings, and then the maid spots her, but then she's like, the maid is always the first person they blame, so you better keep your mouth shut, you know. And then she like walks off with the pearls, and maid can't do anything about it. You know, but she is a fun character because of all the crazy stuff she does. You know, she is fun. She ended up saving their lives in the second episode, or kind of, with the muffin thing. If you've seen it, you know what I'm on about, with the muffins. Well, or at least that kind of helped them, when they kind of helped save their lives. Kind of. Sorry. Of course, kind of. So there's just one guy in there as well, which he's, you know, fun to watch. You ever see, you know, Batman, the villain from Batman, like Harvey Dent, you know, Two-Face, with half, you know, the guy with half his face is like burnt off, with acid or fire, whatever, it depends what movie you watch. But like in this one, they have a character which is similar to him. Like, he's not a villain, he's a really good guy. Like, he killed his wife and kids, but he was like under the influence of the house, of course. Like, he's the guy I was on about earlier. He burned his wife and kids to death, but he was like possessed by the spirits of the house or whatever. But he's a fun guy. Like, he's got half of his face burnt, like, you know, kind of like Harvey Dent from Batman. He's a fun guy. Like, going back to the acting again, it's great with this guy. Just the way he says stuff, what he says, the way he says it, like the tone of voice he uses. He's just like really fun to watch. He's pretty entertaining. Like, I hope we get to see more of him later on in the series, because like the guy only has one scene in each of the episodes so far, of the first 2 episodes, and he's just really fun to watch. You know, I hope we get to see more of him. I'm assuming we do, because like at the moment he's just being used as exposition, like give a little bit of backstory and warn the characters. But, you know, I hope we get to see more of him. He's a fun guy. You know, I have no idea who played him. Did a good night. Oh yeah, that's it. Larry, that's his name, Larry. Now I remember. Or at least I think his name is Larry. But he does a great job. Okay, so that's that done. Trying to think of something else. Hang on, I've got like. I've got like a piece of paper with a few notes here. And yeah, like I was saying earlier, the show, the way it's shot and directed is really weird, but like what happens in the show itself is weird. Like, what actually happens is weird. Not just in the way they direct or edit it, what's actually happening is really weird as well. Like, they've opened up so many like unanswered questions within the first 2 episodes, but like, there's just one part where there's like 3 people standing over a bunch of dead bodies. Like, I'm trying to be vague here so not to give spoilers, but they're standing over a bunch of dead bodies, these 3 people, the 3 characters, and they're like, we have to get rid of the bodies. So I'm kind of like sitting there like, what? You know, because, you know, if you've seen the show, you know what I mean, because like these characters, you're like, what are their motives? What are their intentions? What are they trying to do? Why are they doing this? It's stuff like that. And you're left wondering, are some of them ghosts, or all of them ghosts, or are they human? You know, just stuff like that, you're left wondering about them. Actually, that one must be human. So maybe some are humans, some are spirits. I don't know, but it's really interesting. You know, like I want answers. Like I'm actually interested in the unanswered questions. Like I want to know the answers. You know, like I'm looking forward to see how they resolve the questions. They are pretty interesting. A lot of them, a lot of these unanswered questions they're doing. Great. Yeah, there's one thing. So like every episode, something's happened. Well, not every episode. Pretty much every single scene, pretty much something has happened. Like almost in every single scene, or almost. I stress the word almost, but like in almost every single scene, something interesting has happened, or something has been revealed, or an unanswered question has like opened up. So it's like almost every in every scene, I'm just like, you know, thinking, I'm getting interested. You know, they always have something to throw at you to kind of make you like interested in what's going on, because like they're always throwing in some interesting things that's happening, or like some unanswered questions and stuff, or something. You know, it's always interesting. Like something's always happening. They're always like throwing some new things at you. So that's great. I think I'm running out of stuff here to talk about here. Yep. Okay. Yeah, just two more things to talk about really. Okay, so another character I like to say which is awesome. So we have Larry, the next door neighbor. They're both awesome, and then we have this guy called Tatum. He's one of Ben's patients. He like fantasizes about killing people, like going around school and killing everyone he likes and stuff. He's a fun character as well. It's just he's just. The actor does a good job. I don't know the actor's name. Like I know he's from Kick-Ass. Like you know in Kick-Ass, Kick-Ass's best friend. He's Kick-Ass's best friend. That's the actor. It's the same actor. And then in this show, he plays some guy called Tatum, which is Ben's patient. But he's a fun guy. He does a good job of playing this crazy guy. You know, he is fun to watch, and you know he's part of the mystery. One of the mysteries. One of the unanswered questions. So you know, I'm looking forward to seeing where they're going with his character, and that's pretty much all I have to say. Like the first episode established everything. It did, you know, you get to see a bit of the spirits, yeah, a bit of the spirits and stuff, and nothing really happened. Like they just threw in a bunch of questions to get going. Then in the second episode, you have the home invasion where the psychos break into the house and try to, you know, recreate the murders. So then you get like, well, the first one was like more dialogue based. This one, the second one was more action based, and both were done really well, you know. And of course you get more unanswered questions opened up in the second one. I'm getting to see, you know, it's just a great show. One moment in the second episode which I really liked is like the next door neighbor, to punish her daughter, she like locks her in like a little closet, and the whole entire like wall. All of the walls of the, you know, the wall of the, every single wall of the closet is like covered in mirrors. So like, you know, there's just like mirrors just everywhere plastering the walls. Like so, if she does something bad, that's how she punishes her. She just locks her in a closet with like, you know, a million mirrors just all over the walls. You know, like I haven't seen that done in a film before, but I think I'm not talking about the mirror idea where it's like tons of mirrors on the wall. I'm talking about using that to punish your kid, and I've seen that done in a film or a show, TV show before. I'm just saying that bit was kind of cool. Like that would be a pretty creepy thing, you know. Like mirrors are pretty creepy in general, you know. But I'm just saying that scene was kind of, I think it's kind of original. At least I've never seen it done before, and I think that's pretty awesome. That little, it's just like a 5-second scene, but it was pretty good. So there you go. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. If you haven't seen the show, I recommend watching it. It was a hell of a lot better than I was expecting. Like I am really looking forward to the next episode now. You know, the characters are fun, the acting's fine, the plot is really interesting, the drama and the horror elements mixed together really well. You know, they're really interesting. The spirits or ghosts or whatever you want to call them, they look great. You know, the makeup effects and stuff, they are good. And there's like tons and tons of spirits as well. I'm pretty sure there's more to be, more spirits they haven't revealed yet. So yeah, I am looking forward to where they're going with this series. I can't think of much places, much directions for them to go in the series. But I am interested to see, you know, where they're going. Like, I hope they pull it off well. Like, I really want to like the series. I want to like I already like it, but I want to like the rest. You know, I really hope they do a good job. I really hope the rest of the series is really good. You know, because I am getting kind of hyped up for the next episodes now. Yeah, and I'll probably get around to watching the second series when that comes out next year as well. I'm just kind of gutted that like we're a bit behind America. I think America's on the 7th episode, but here in the UK it's just the 3rd episode now. Whenever that's on, I don't know, maybe Saturday or Wednesday. I'm not quite sure when it's on. But yeah, that's American Horror Story, and yeah, like most of my reviews are like half an hour to like 60 minutes long. I'm not quite sure how long this has been going on for. I don't have a clock or like a timer or anything like that around here, so I can't figure out how long I've been rambling on for. You know, I may review each episode, like, as you know, as I watch them. I might review every single episode. I don't know, maybe it depends on what I have to talk about, how much I have to say about them. You know, like the videos, they'll probably be like 2 or 3 minutes long because it's just a TV episode. At least with this, I'm offering my thoughts on the series as a whole, because like this is the first time I've seen an episode of the series. So it's, you know, at least sure I can waste time talking about how I came to watching it and like give my opinion on the series as a whole. But like, if I'm going to review each individual episode, I don't know, it depends on what things in particular I have to talk about, you know. So yeah, they're probably going to be like 3 or 4 minutes long, and maybe even 2 minutes long. I can't imagine them being that long. But yeah, that's if I decide to, you know, review every single episode. Maybe I will. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. Movie review, I don't know. I might watch Paranormal Activity 3, depends if I can find someone to go watch it with. Might be going to the cinemas on Saturday, so I might have a movie review up there by then. But yeah, that's American Horror Story. That's my thoughts on the first 2 episodes. Thanks for watching. Bye.